The High Court sitting in Tshwane, overturning the decision by the Department of Basic Education that the matric class of 2020 must rewrite both Maths Paper 2 and Physical Science Paper 2. You'll remember that those papers were leaked using electronic communication. They call it electronic communication. We mean WhatsApp. As a result of that, no one really knows at this stage how many learners might have had sight of some of the exam questions before they actually wrote. Our reporter who's been following the story through the week watched all the legal arguments. He's going through the 33-page judgment now. Newzroom Afrika, good afternoon to you. 33-page judgment. I'm sure you haven't finished it yet. We know the outcome. What are the judges relying on?
Absolutely, Steve, and it seems the decision to have the matrics rewrite those two papers was illegal and irregular. That's what, declared unlawful and irregular. That's what Judge Norman Davis, is basing this argument on. You'll remember that the issue around who could have taken the decision and whether how far and wide this paper was leaked was one of the critical arguments in this matter. You've just mentioned the issue around WhatsApp. We heard yesterday in court that quite a number of learners, accessed the paper, but they don't know exactly how many. The applicants rather going back as far back as the 1st of December when Umalusi said that, well, they wouldn't be backing these results. It appears from the applicant's side that that was an attempt to push the department into a corner, because when the minister made the decision on the 4th, she said, well, Umalusi has already said they're not backing the results, so the only option that we have right now is to rewrite.
I mean, the Education Department is in the news all the time for a series of reasons. One of them is it reflects the complexities of our society. Another is there's so many different moving parts and there's no other way to do it. Umalusi has to be independent. If they're not independent, then, you can't judge if the matric exams don't have integrity. And they say the matric exam doesn't have integrity.
Indeed, the integrity of these exams have been questioned, given the fact that there's also another paper that's said to have been leaked, right? So when you look at Umalusi, the applicant saying that, well, they're a quality assurer and according to regulations, they're not supposed to be making these decisions. Where in the papers of the department does the DG actually say, I took this decision together with the minister, because those are the regulations. That's exactly what needs to happen before that decision is taken. And it seems, from the applicant's side, Umalusi took that decision based on a preliminary report that, clearly indicated that there was a lot of work that still needed to be done in order to determine how many learners had benefited from this leak.
Somewhere, well, there's probably more than one, there's an 18-year-old turning to their mother and saying, see, I told you so. I told you I didn't have to go and study all of this again because I'm not going to have to rewrite it. But the Education Department, the Basic Education Department, is now in a terrible position.
Absolutely. I mean, what they had to say yesterday was the fact that the memory of the paper is still fresh in the minds of learners, but learners have also themselves, in an affidavit that was heard in court yesterday, saying that, well, at this particular point, when you're done writing an exam, what happens is that you submit the textbook. You also destroy, some of the reading material or some of the notes that you might have written. So it will be difficult to then try and go back again to prepare for this exam. Some applicants going as far as saying this has a lot of costs involved, because if you look at the exams, they end on the 15th, but they would have to come back for the physical sciences paper, based on such a decision where there was not a concrete finding in terms of the number of learners that could have accessed the leaks.
All right, Newzroom Afrika, thank you very much indeed. I'm going to let you go.